Hello, I'm Katherine McCay, and this is June 28th, 2024, and this is my interpersonal communication plan. So, how might we see this giraffe's communication? Does he have his head in the clouds? Is he oblivious to others? Is he cocooning? Or is he embracing the idea of living and communicating with a clear vision? Perhaps he has a firm grasp on life and sees it from a higher playing field, which would be God's playing field. Interpersonal communication involves verbally or non-verbally sharing information, thoughts, and feelings with another person. The Bible tells us in Colossians 3, 1 through 4, New Living Translation, "If then you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on the things that are above, not the things on the earth." It's my commitment to developing healthy and healing personal and professional relationships. Schulze and Badzinski, in An Essential Guide to Interpersonal Communication, tell us that heartfelt gratitude is the single most important aspect for interpersonal communication with others. Good communication is practiced by using empathy, warmth, and genuineness in helpful and useful ways that interject themselves into all conversations. France and Weichel. My overarching goal is to speak God's truth with both gratitude and empathy into positive, honest, and genuine interpersonal communications. There'll be 5 parts. Part 2 is Carbonell's. Part 3, interpersonal barriers, 4, goals and strategies, and 5, implementation. So I'm a CIS, a competent influencing specialist. It states that I get satisfaction out of serving others. The fact I like to please and serve others really helped me in business, but it was my greatest personal downfall. It also states I prefer steady and stable environments, and I really picked up on this. I did not have this at all through about age 40 with a marriage to a bipolar man and 4 children. Also, Carbonell states that I need to increase my strength to resist those who want to control me or let needy people use me for selfish gain. I had a great difficulty with my sister in the last few years. She disclosed that she lied about me and talked negatively about me to several people. I believe God turned this into a learning opportunity for me. We were both raised in the same dysfunctional home. I sustained all 5 types of child abuse and neglect. Our alcoholic father was non-affectionate, which correlates with daughter's avoidance attachment style. If the interpersonal communication motive of affection is missing in dad, it negatively correlates to a daughter's psychological well-being, and that's from Jelani. Both my sister and I have alexithymia, and that's a personality trait whose primary characteristic is a deficit in handling emotions. This correlates to an insecure attachment style in some people, and that's from Zhang. My sister is profoundly hard of hearing, so this and our father's affection style deeply impacts her communicative style as well. So we don't have time to read it, but these are all of the common communication barriers. And the source of these is France and Weichel, Schulze and Peterson, and they were given by Dr. Gina Barker in the 7th week video. With communications with my sisters and others, I discovered problems with listening, and that's from Peterson, 2022. He's the one who revealed those. I was rehearsing, daydreaming, judging, advising, defending, and hiding. And those were then and are now my barriers. This fits with my lack of psychological well-being and difficulty with emotions for both my sister and I, and daughters who have non-affectionate fathers, again from Jelani and Zhang. Also with my sister, I let anger, hurt, and fear hijack me, and I went flat brain, according to Peterson. It was certainly not the first time with this degree of alexithymia. So, part 4, to reiterate my overarching goal, I want to speak God's truth with both gratitude and empathy into positive, honest, and genuine communications. God, through His Spirit, can overcome my very rocky first 40 years of life, and I am meditating on gratitude verses. Okay, so here are Strategies to enhance, there they all are. The ones in red are mine. And again, the whole source is Franson, Weichel, Schultze, and Peterson. So mine are openness, active listening, and mindfulness. I recently was able to use several learned strategies as I performed a quick impromptu lay counseling at church for a distressed friend who called me out of church. I listened okay for about 60 seconds, and then I started thinking about what was going on in church, and suddenly all of the Peterson text just came back to me. I came back, I listened, I was mindful, and during the whole thing, I did not give personal advice, agree, or disagree, just like Peterson's talker listener cards. I also remembered Peterson in the moment when asked a question, ask a question. That's on page 139. I turned to a question. What do you think might be best? I gave correct advice gained from the discussion boards to ask her if we could pray to God and ask for his advice in this. So I have a goal to practice mindfulness and always pay direct attention to the client. That's a major goal. Another 3 goals, Schultze states that I should not judge, jump to premature conclusions, or focus on my own self-centered wants and needs and agenda. Another specific goal is cultivating more gratitude, as I mentioned. Schultze says, heartfelt gratitude naturally leads us to be less selfish and more servant-oriented. If you can accept your own communicative ability as a gift from God and then use that gift to love others, you will be a faithful interpersonal communicator. That's from chapter 1. As a person who has some degree of this alexithymia and difficulty with emotions, I do benefit from meditation, and that's from Zhang. So, part 4, goals and strategies. I've journaled and logged all the how to listen better techniques, and I've memorized the talker listener card. And now I'm memorizing verses to use in counseling as a strategy. I believe this will help me with the problem of thinking ahead about what to say next. Luke 12:11 and 12 tells us that the Spirit will give us the right words. The 8 principles of Schultze are also in my journal, and these are actually on my wall. And I also have been working on my best counseling notes binder since my very first course last year on this trek to the master's degree. And I have wonderful helps at hand in my binder. I also have that goal and strategy for daily meditation and prayer for clients. That's also going to help with the alexithymia and the emotions. So I'm praying and working on memorizing verses and even during meditation. So, in conclusion, interpersonal communication involves verbally or non-verbally sharing information, thoughts, and feelings with another person. An interpersonal communication plan is a commitment to developing healthy and healing personal and professional relationships. And my overarching goal is to speak God's truth with both gratitude and empathy into positive, honest, and genuine interpersonal communications. My biggest interpersonal communicating barriers were recently seen in those talks with my sister, and I was judging, advising, defending, hiding, among other things. But with a clear vision and gratitude for God, I can implement these new strategies and goals for overcoming my interpersonal communication barriers. Ephesians 4:15 says, rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head in Christ. That's the New Living Translation. Thank you.